Welcome in to the Toyota's Winners Lounge, live and direct from the DNVR bar. Let's bowl.
Let's bowl.
Are we believers? Do we believe?
Let's bowl.
Whether you believe or not, you guys got to check out our new shirts. We're dropping this new shirt, the Believe shirt. You better believe 60 yards or not, it's a win is a win, and he's bringing us good juju. We believe. Shout out, go check out our new shirts. And we are live from the Winners Lounge because the Broncos won, and that's all that matters today. 10-9, doesn't matter how you do it. They don't ask you what happened in the game. They just say, did you win or did you lose? And today we got to win. But we're going to break down all that happened in the game because there's more than a lot to talk about. Myself, Todd Davis, Jurrell Casey, Knowshon Moreno, Hank, Henry, Chisholm. We are all here live to talk about the game. And first of all, I want to get you guys' big takeaways. What did you guys see from the game? What is your biggest takeaways to start off the show?
The biggest takeaway from the game today, I say that our defense can play some ball.
Come on now.
I think that's the biggest thing you can talk about. You know, I'm a defensive guy. I'm always talking about defense. Defense is my love. And when you get to go out there and hit folks, and you get to see how those guys went out there and played 5-6 sacks out there today.
Yep.
DBs played they tail off, held in Rodgers under 100-something yards today.
I think he had ended with 225.
He ended up ending with 225.
Yep.
But I think they did a great job today, killing themselves out there, busting their tail. Defense played.
I agree. I think defense played a tremendous game, and I really think this was their game. I mean, we all believe, but you know, we got to be honest. The defense held them for this game.
I didn't think they were getting a second stop. Like when they got that first stop at the end, I was like, oh, they did it. That was their job. Broncos going to run out the clock. They're good. Second stop, I didn't think there was a chance. But they missed the field goal, so worked out. We believed.
We believe.
Stop saying, y'all better stop saying that.
You're not a believer yet?
He's not a believer.
You need to see more to believe?
Guys, what do we got to do to get Knowshon to believe?
I mean, let's start by getting more than 60 yards passing. How about that?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you could do that, then yes, I'll believe. And why that shirt had the cardboard box with the tape with the tape on it like that? That was OD.
That's the quality. That's the quality we at right now.
That's the quality of believers.
Okay, but no, I mean, takeaways. Yeah, defense, like what you boys was talking about. I'd never have a doubt about the defense. I think coming into this season, we're believers in the defense, that we knew that they were going to go out there and they were going to have to keep us in these kind of games, right? They kept us in this game.
For sure.
So, yeah, of course the defense did their thing. I think for me the biggest takeaway was, that run game was actually looking pretty decent out there today.
Yes.
Javonte, I was proud to see Javonte, get his shot again, right? I mean, they took that shot away from him. And sometimes you kind of need that, as a player. You get your spot, your starting job taken away, and it gives you a little bit of a spark,
Definitely.
So I think he needed that spark. He kind of got it, and he looked good out there. So my takeaways is the run game.
Yeah, he definitely felt like he was running, had a chip on his shoulder this game, something that he didn't have the first three games. But, we want to break down the good, the bad, and the ugly to start the show. So first of all, we're going to talk about all the good. We talked about the defense a little bit, but we got to talk about some people in particular that had really great games. I think Pat Surtain going up against Gary Wilson, one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. I think he locked them down the entire game. He really didn't do much against them, and I think that's why the Broncos were able to play so well as a defensive unit. And also, I got to give a shout out to the linebackers. Stranad and Cody Barton, I felt like came in and played really well. As you guys know, Alex Singleton, he tore his ACL last game, so he's out for the rest of the season. But the linebackers came in and they didn't miss a beat. And that's what you want to see when you say the next guy up mentality, next man up, is when the guys or the backups come in. How well can they play? Do you miss the starter? Do you feel like there's a glaring hole in the defense? Are they giving up big plays? You didn't see any of that, and I think they play at a really, really high level today.
Yeah. They played so fast.
Yep. That's
a big thing to me. Like, it didn't look like they were nervous at all. They weren't surprised that they were put in that situation. It was just immediately got in there and they're just flying into the backfield, making plays. Like, they played confident, which I think kind of was the key.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like.
I mean, do you got to give kudos to Vance? You know what I mean? And then the scheme that he put together, I love to see all the mugs and the people dropping back and people coming, kind of keeping Aaron Rodgers off kilter, because he's a really smart guy. You know what I mean? He knows the game. He knows who's going to be coming and not. And to have them all at the line of scrimmage like that, I think kind of kept them off kilter a little bit.
It's on point, man. I think, I'm all for giving Vance his flowers. After that 70-point game in Miami last year, everybody was calling for his job. Everybody. And I was just like, it was one game, everybody chill out. Defense goes on to have a 5-game streak where they lead the league in interceptions and turnovers. I think they force almost 4 a game. And then ever since then, they've been kind of rolling as a defense, and now he's continued to ball out. And they're playing well as a whole. So if you want to give Vance his flowers, I'm all for it.
I think Vance is just doing an overall job of playing situational football out there.
Sure.
He's just dialing up the pressures at the right time. The guys is hitting home when we need them to hit home. I think that's been the biggest thing for the defense at this moment. The guys up front is getting busy.
Yeah.
And it's not even just the fact that they get home. When you can get sacks from your DBs, that's really big. And so, like I say, Vance out there dialing them up, putting that pressure on them, and not just sitting into man, and not just sitting in his basic zone. He's out there getting man pressures, home pressures, throwing everything at him. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, you talked about DBs getting sacked. PJ Locke had a sack today. Stranad had a sack as an inside linebacker
Too, that sack.
Yeah.
The sack, that's what ended the game.
Yeah.
JFM had a sack. Nick Bonito had one. Malcolm Roach and Jonah Ellis split one. So the defense was eating. As a D lineman, what is it? What is the recipe to get into the quarterback? They had 7 sacks last week. They have 5 this week. What is about this defense that allows them to get home?
I think the biggest thing so far is, all working together within. You don't see guys hiccuping. You don't see guys giving away where the pressure's coming from. You got guys all in sync. When it's ball height, guys coming off throwing the rock, and guys hitting their stunts the way they're supposed to hit them. And it's the second after guys, right? And I think that's the biggest thing so far. Those guys dialing it up. And the biggest thing is getting more out of that front. I think the front need to get more sacks, because we're getting a lot from the edge guys at the moment. If we get more up the middle, that bring even the defense be top 5? They probably are top 5 right now.
Yeah,
they probably one of the best out there. But just to get a little bit more from that front, we just need a little bit more production up front. Definitely.
Yeah, they're currently ranked top 5 in most statistical categories. I mean, they haven't allowed a touchdown in the last 6 quarters. So they've been playing really, really like their hair's on fire. Knowshon as a running back, when you have so many different fronts, and you got guys in the A gap, you got guys lining up on the edge, you got safety blitzers, then corner blitzers. How hard is that as a running back to try and pick up and navigate?
Yeah, the thing is about when defenses are kind of doing those things to you, it makes you play slow.
Yeah.
And as an offense, you don't want to play slow, right? You want to be kind of going full speed and get into where you need to be. But at the same time, when you got these guys mugged, it takes you a second to get out on your route. Okay, I got to check if this linebacker's coming out. Is the safety? Now I'm good. Get you out on the route late. The play might be over by then. Gives the defense a little bit of time to get there and get some pressure on your quarterback. So it definitely plays with you a little bit, because it just slows you down as an offense.
Yeah, for sure. And then Hank, as a media member, what do you see? How would you diagnose this defense and how they're playing?
They're so good. They don't miss tackles, I think, is the big thing.
That's true.
You go all the way through, even the little guys. Like, you have Jaquan McMillan in the slot. How many times is he making a tackle at the line of scrimmage? You're like, wow, no extra yards there. Same thing, Riley Moss. Not the biggest cornerback, but over and over and over, they're making these tackles. I think all it takes is one or two of those being busted, and all of a sudden, the game could look totally different.
Yeah, there's no run after the catch. For sure.
And that's what football is about, right? Guys that can bow up, and you need your little guys running, and you need your little guys hitting, right? And that's what football is about. When you get your little guys to step into the pocket and take some players on and really make plays for you, it makes your defense that much better, and it allows your bigger guys to actually go out there and be free. Yeah. I know that I used to love that when I used to have a little guy that can blitz off the edge, that can sit in there and be stout against their tight ends. It allows you to just go out there and be freaky out there front, and let your athleticism show a little bit more. And I think that's what's been able to happen right now. When you get guys that can mug up into the A gaps, you can go ahead and pick guys in like a bear-looking front over. When you can dial things up across the board with guys and let them be athletic, that's what making the Broncos right now be contenders in every game.
I agree, and I don't know. I think that these different fronts are scaring opposing offenses, because I've never seen so many false starts and penalties for opposing offenses. I was talking to Hank. I didn't know if the Broncos were making them look trash or if they were really trash. But when they come and their operations look terrible with everybody that plays the Broncos, like. I don't know if it's a fear that the Broncos putting in them, but there's so many false starts, so many pre-snap penalties from opposing offenses.
Yeah. It's because they're fast off the edge, too. And we're quick. We're quick on defense. You know what I mean? We got some speed. We ain't slow. So I think that's what it kind of boils down to. But I guess my question would be for everyone in here is, can this defense keep this up, though? You know what I mean? I hope the offense doesn't keep up what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, if the defense can keep on playing like this throughout the whole season, yeah, we can be into some games. But, you know, if it's a 20-point game, you know, the defense lets up 20 points, I don't know if we're ever going to win any of those games.
No.
But do you guys think that this defense can kind of keep this up the whole season?
I don't know. I mean, I'll have to get y'all opinion. I feel like that's the toughest thing about a defense. It's easier to be good when your offense is good. Like, you're not on the field all the time. You don't always have to come up with a big play to help out the offense. But when you play, like, game-saving defense 24/7, you get tired.
Definitely.
And I think at some point you might, like, you know what I'm saying, break from being on the field 24/7 and making all these plays.
I'm like, you know, I've been there before. You know, where you have to be a defense that stay out there and try to stay stout. And it's doable. It's just about the mental aspect of what your defense want to produce, right? Y'all want to go out there and be the best defense, which y'all been showing, and you want to keep that up, and you got to carry your offense. That's what situational football is about. You have to now rise to the occasion and give these guys now shorter field position. We're getting everything else, right? We're doing sacks. We're stopping the run. We're doing an okay job in the pass. Now we got to get turnovers, right? Get those turnovers that can be key play changers in games or anything, you know. Got to score yourself. That's what defense is about, right? Trying to find opportunities for your offense at any time possible. But it's hard. But everybody, you know, in that defense, they know what they're doing, and I think they can keep it up. As long as people don't get hurt, they're gonna keep rolling.
But that could be frustrating too for a defense, man. Knowing that your offense can't get nothing going. We're back out there again. You know what I mean? It's early in the season right now. We're only 3 games in, so it's all cool. Everyone got the juices. But you know how it gets. Week 10, week 11, man. And y'all been through all those games, man. And we do this all, you know, over and over again. I don't know. I hope they can do it, man. But I just hope they don't run out of steam.
But go ahead.
I will say that, like, games like this make it easier though. Like, if I'm the Jets defense, I'm pissed. We lost 10-9. Like, y'all couldn't find a way to get 3 points. You missed the field goal at the end of the game. Like, that's what pisses you off. But you're like, I know it was tough, but we got the win. Like, 10-9, it sucked. It was hell, but we found a way to win. I think that's, like, easier to deal with mentally than losing.
I think you said the big thing. He's winning, right? As long as they're winning and staying in these games are tight like this and it's on the defense, then okay. But if it's on the defense and they're losing, I guess that's when it gets tricky.
And another big thing is you have to remember management, right? Sean Payton is a great coach. He's not no slap over there. So while his team is struggling early right now, he got his team to win 2 big games on the road. Now, knowing his personality and knowing his mentality for his team, he's a player's coach. So he's taking care of his team. He's celebrating with those guys, going nuts right now in that locker room. They're going to feel that juice. So as long as he keep those guys' morale and keep them together, and that's what I believe he does a great job at, he's always going to keep those guys in the locker room ready to go. And now when they offense click and get ready to roll, that's when we're going to be turning it on. But right now, we just got to get that offense rolling for sure.
I think we got a lot to talk about, and the offense is definitely our next topic. But before we go any further, I got to remind you guys to check out our friends over at Toyota. Toyota is the official automotive partner of the DNVR. Trucks have been a part of Toyota's DNA for generations. Toyota has built durable legends destined for greatness and perfect for Colorado. I know winter is coming, snow is coming, but if you still like to hike and get outdoors, there are tons of different vehicles, 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, that Toyota has to offer that will keep you outside and having a good time even when the weather hits. And we want you to visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. We have the Auto Nation Toyota in Arapahoe, in Centennial. We have the Courtland Toyota in Boulder. We have the Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson's Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson's Toyota West in Lakewood. And Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR.
Yes. Also want to give a shout out to UCHealth. Our guy, Coach Prime, has been working with them because they have the Ready, Set, Co challenge going. They want to help Colorado return to its rightful place as the healthiest state in the United States. Coach Prime is the Chief Motivation Officer. The goal, again, is to get them back on top, and he wants you to be your healthiest self. So one of his big points is that he wants you to get 8 hours of sleep a night. It's healthy for you. Good for your physical well-being, neurological stuff. There's all sorts of different perks. And so if you guys want to sign up, you can go over to uchealth.org/readysetco. And again, they want to make Colorado the healthiest state in the country, which it used to be for a long time, but isn't anymore. So go check them out.
Who's ahead of us?
Who's what?
Who's ahead of us?
I actually don't know. I'll figure that out.
Get the clacker over there. Yeah.
While Henry's doing some research to see who's the healthiest state, we got to talk about how being healthier on offense, man. This is not us as a unit. We keep talking about being better. I know we averaged 16 points a game with Russell Wilson, and that wasn't good enough. We had another 10-piece this week. I don't, particularly think that's good enough. I know you got a lot of feelings on this offense, man. You gotta share them with us.
No, yeah, it's just not going to cut it, really. Honestly, I mean, it was a good win today. Glad to see that the guys got it. But more so is that we're not going to be able to continue this style of offense and beat those teams that we need to get to the playoffs. And I was just thinking it's not going to happen. 60 yards passing. I mean, I don't know if I've never seen that.
Research.
Right, I'm research.
I'll check.
But Tebow was around that. You know what I'm saying? And no hate on Tebow. But I'm just saying. I mean, and we call Tebow not a big passer, right? And Bo is, right? So it's just not going to cut it. I know the weather was a little bit bad today. That's not an excuse. He was scrambling a lot. I thought he was getting out of the pocket a little bit too much today. Yeah, you were getting pressure. But, I mean, he's young, man. He's working. He's trying to get better. Peyton's going to make sure that he gets better. And I think he's just out there just trying to make a play. At the end of the day, they made enough to win, right? But I just don't think it's going to cut it. Later on down the road, 60 yards and a couple, and 70-something from Javonte at least on the ground, which is nice. But, yeah, we're just going to see, man. I'm just shocked that it was 60 yards. It's crazy.
Do you think those 60 yards – which you're right, it's not going to cut it. Is that play calling? Is that Aaron throws? Is he selling the ball? There was a couple times where guys were open where I didn't feel like it was a great pass. Like, what's the problem? Is it a mix of all three of those things? Like, what is it?
Yeah, I would say it's just a mix.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a mix right now. There's a lot going on up there. He's trying to make a play. He doesn't want to take the sack. He's throwing guys, over their head and things of that nature. But I would say it's all of it, really. It's all of it. And each week he just has to correct those things and get better. Did he get better from – I thought he played a decent game last week. You know what I mean?
No, he played a good game.
So, I mean, for him to come out this week, I don't know if it was the travel. They had to stay. They didn't come back home. They stayed out that way. I don't know if it was travel or the weather or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, we got the win, so we'll see.
It's funny when you have a rookie quarterback, you start thinking about all the different things.
It could be
was it the weather? Was it that we stayed at Greenbrier? Was it that we play on the East Coast? Like if he was Russell Wilson, it's just he's trash. And that was trash.
Because you really don't know yet. He's still young, right? He's still learning the game, right? So it's hard to really blame him for all those things, right? Because he's so young.
Yeah.
But it makes it easier when all the hype coming into the season. Oh, he started 60-something games. Like, I don't care how many games you started. You know what I mean? Oh, he's so smart up here. He does what Peyton wants. Too much hype. And then to go out there and see what the product is now in real action, not in a preseason, not in practice, not in training, it's not going to cut it. I don't like that the hype was so big coming into the season. Now, we see what it is, and
he's just very inconsistent. I think that's just what he just shows on tape over and over. 1 minute the ball is right on money, but I think it's the wrong decision to throw it. And then the next one is like, that was a terrible decision to throw it, but you threw it way over his head too.
Exactly.
And then the next thing you come over and be like, dang, he's wide open, but you can't give him the ball. Yep. So it's just like, he's just very inconsistent with his play. And I think, is inconsistent offensive calling at the same time.
Yeah.
Because 1 minute in the first half, they don't want to give the ball to the running backs at all. And now, how do you expect this young quarterback to go out there and perform the way he needs to perform when he can't have no play action reads? He can't get out there and, you know, get a little cool off because he made a mistake real quick. But you just keep giving him the opportunity to keep throwing his ball, and then you just pin your offense in a tough situation. And then we come to the second half, and now we pound it down their throat, and you give these guys a good running chance. And I think that's where the offensive coordinator just got to do a better job of being consistent, you know, giving these guys better opportunities out there.
Feel you. Well, listen, man. All right, could we just say this then? I mean, Bo is who he is, right? I mean,
he is who he is
right?
at this moment.
I mean,
he is who he is.
The ceiling is not.
But guess what?
Mahomes.
We believe.
Right? It's not Mahomes though, right?
Certainly not right now.
But I think time is his friend.
Okay.
I think if you look at his college career, he needed time. And it was like a couple years before he figured it out. Had to change schools. Hopefully, you know, we don't want that going on.
It was 5 years.
But he
See,
needed
in 2029.
time. And so I think that's the biggest thing between like him being who he is now versus him being the guy that everybody hyped up and who they want him to be. I think he just needs time. And I'm not sure how long that'll be. Or if we just have to be believers until that time hits. But I'm not sure.
That just sucks for him though, really, because we're in the business now, and nowadays that it's not about we don't want to wait.
Not for long. Bro.
We don't want to wait.
Not for
You know
long.
what I mean? As fans, as an organization, no one wants to wait and for that quarterback to develop, right? They want it now. So we'll see.
Because what you say, we had over the last 5 years, we probably have 4 different quarterbacks.
Shoot, probably more than that.
Come on, man. Come on, Bo. We trying to believe over here.
Yep.
Give us something to believe in.
I did
60
pull
yards
up,
ain't it, guy.
I pulled up Tebow stats. His fewest passing yards in a start, his entire career. Against the Chiefs, he was 6 of 22, 60 yards.
Wow.
Ooh.
Lost 7-3 to the Chiefs. Exact same.
So the exact number. Okay, they both the same. Okay.
Exact same. That was his second year. He only started the last 3 his rookie year.
Second, yeah, that's gross too.
Still early. I think it's early for a rookie. That's why I don't want to judge him. That's why I didn't want to put too much hype out there either, because it's like you just got to give him time. I think the whole first year is kind of like a learning curve. I mean, if you would have judged Peyton his first year where he broke the record in interceptions as a rookie, like it's not looking good, you know what I'm saying, for the Colts and their organization. It turns out to be 2-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer, and he is who he is. So I think Bo needs time. What I am happy with right now is the running game, at least the second half. The first half, it was typical what we've been doing the last 2 games, and it wasn't productive. But I will say that it felt like Javonte kind of found his groove in the second half and started breaking runs, starting setting runs up. And it felt more like the Javonte we all like to watch as a runner.
Yeah, I would say the same. I would say the same thing. Breaking tackles, all that good stuff. I think, it was a good game by Javonte. I guess one more thing about Bo that I do, like, I guess, like, I'm like, I enjoy seeing.
You like it. You can say it.
You can like something.
You can like something.
Go ahead.
No, I think, because I don't really necessarily like my quarterback to be running and taking a lot of hits. But I do like that he can, get out the pocket if we need it and do it with his legs. I do like to see that. But, that's why I was hesitant. I just don't like to see my quarterback taking those hits. But it's good that he could do it with his legs. But the run game looked good as well.
Definitely. Let's get some love to those big men up front.
Oh, yeah.
Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give them a round of applause.
Shout out to the
Because those big men up front, man, talking about second half, they definitely put it on and start blocking and making some key blocks to get Javonte those key runs. And then Javonte also made some key cuts that just, set up some pretty runs. But the reason I was getting a round of applause is 0 sacks today. They did an excellent job of keeping him clean. And, we just need Bo to perform and execute. Javonte to keep running that ball the way he's running the rock. But those guys up front, I think they did a heck of a job today performing across the ball. Yeah, you don't give up a couple pressures here and there. That's football. But in order for these guys, to go out there and perform week to week, and what they get proud about is not giving up those sacks, not letting their quarterback touch that ground. And I think they did a great job of that today, for sure.
Yeah, I think all around the O-line did good. 2 weeks ago, Mike McGlinchey got hurt. He's out for a couple of weeks. And Alex Palczewski has come in and played really good. We talk about all the time, like, what do you do when the backup is playing well? Like, he hasn't made mistakes. He hasn't given up any sacks. He's doing good on his run blocks. Like, does the hot hand play? Do you bring in the $17 million guy back into the fold? Like, what do you do?
You ask?
If y'all are GMs
that's
and
one
you
of
got
those-
a guy that's like undrafted and
All-American, though.
in college, All-American.
All-American.
But
At
you have a
Illinois.
$17 million guy on the bench, but the hot hand is technically the undrafted guy that's not your starter. What do you do?
The high hand, if he's protecting your quarterback, the high hand got to roll.
He got to roll?
He got to roll.
See, I think it just depends on the situation and the position.
Okay.
I mean, and in college. In college, it's a little different, right? Because you're talking about red shirts, you're talking about things of that nature. So if a guy's young and you can hold on to that red shirt and you don't have to use them, you probably don't put them back in. All right, in the league, positions. I mean, at that position on the O-line.
Right tackle.
Right tackle, I think he gets that position back. I think he gets that shit. And then you have in your back pocket a guy that can actually get it done behind him and that can keep on developing and continue to get better. And if you have to later on down the road say, you know what, hey, you've let up too many sacks, you're not producing how you're supposed to, then you can put the backup back in and say, all right, go ahead and get back to work and continue what you was doing.
So do we wait for the mid-season battle or do we kick it off now?
Nah, you let him get his job back.
Okay.
I think
Once he's healthy, I think he's still out for 2 more weeks.
Make sure he's 100%. I don't want you to come back 80 because a
That's
lot of
what
guys come back 80.
That's what I'm saying. We need to 110.
Yeah.
Get to 110.
When you see that boy's stats this week, he gonna want to come back quick.
Exactly. So I would say that, right? Make sure you're 100% coming back so that we know when you're healthy. And then you kind of go from there. But I think it just depends on the position, really, right? I mean, you talking about your quarterback, you talking about the Steelers are kind of in that position. Russ went down, and now Fields is doing great because they're kind of in that position. So we got to keep an eye on that to see what Tomlin does with that quarterback position.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to see Palshevsky play. At the same time, McGlinchey has $17 million guaranteed next year, so you're not getting rid of him. You're a tough spot, but if the young guy's playing well, I just don't think you can justify taking him off the field.
So that means you're just throwing that money down the drain? That's what you want to do? Another Russ situation? That's what you want to do?
It's half a Russ, though. So it's like,
I'm just saying.
it's half as bad as,
I'm just saying. You paying this guy all this money and then you're not even playing him.
No,
Best
he gonna
backup
end up
tackle in
playing
the
him, though.
NFL.
He'll be back ready to roll. Once he get healthy, let him go.
And McGlinchey's a staple.
It's still early.
True.
It's
He's
still
a big
early.
piece. He's a big piece.
It's still early in the season. You got to give him a chance to get back, get back. But that mid-season battle is for real.
Right.
I think it's definitely going to be on the radar. And like you said, the GM going to have him in the back pocket. And, either or. You never know. Maybe the other guy can bounce to the left side, too, if Bose end up getting hurt or something like that. But right now, they all rocking up front. I think they got a good room. And if those guys continue to be leaders up front, I think they can keep this offense rolling. I think for sure.
Yeah.
Big dogs, keep doing your thing, man.
It's important,
I
man.
see someone mention Melvin Gordon. Nah, he would not have been starting for me. I'm just saying, you put the ball on the ground that many times, it's just enough is enough. And you got to work back in that position for sure.
Yeah. That's a pet peeve for running backs is just fumbling the ball.
You can't fumble that ball. Yeah, I think we worked on it so much as a back. I mean, come on. You can't put that ball on the ground, man, and give the team the opportunity to get the ball, man. You got pretty much everyone's lives in your hand when you're holding onto that ball. You know what I mean? So I take it serious. We took it serious. You know what I mean? You fumble too many times, you ain't in the game. You got to sit down.
Because that's like your most important job. I think before getting yards, you got to protect the football.
Yeah.
Like, you really just have one job and that's really it. You know how the kicker got one job, kick the field goal? You have one ball, one job, protect the football. That's really it. That's like really the ball security, right?
Yep.
You got one job, protect that football. Like, that's what it's all about, for sure.
I agree.
Yep.
Well, we talked about the good, the bad, the ugly. Well, we could go on to some more good. I thought that Courtland had a good game. He was Bo's outlet. He was there when he needed to be. He got on the touchdown board again, so that was important to get Courtland running. I think he's going to need to be a good part of this passing offense. Like, we can't have a dominant passing offense or even a good passing offense if Courtland's not involved. He's our number one wide receiver. We have to find ways to get him the ball. I don't care if it's first 15 scripted, okay, 3 of these balls are going to Courtland, or throughout the game we have certain plays dictated primarily for Courtland. We have to find more ways to get him involved because he's our best target. And Hank, you have the numbers on I think he was at 66, and then who was the next wide receiver?
The second most receiving yards. It was actually a tie. A tie.
This is crazy.
Javonte Williams tied Michael Burton. Both had 3 receiving yards.
So Courtland was at 66 yards.
3, 3, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, -2, -4.
Bruh.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And this is like a regular game for Sutton. I mean, these are numbers that you usually see. Right?
Yeah,
You
totally.
usually see like a 60, 70 yards, 4 catches, maybe a tug.
We need some.
It can't just be him.
Yeah.
We need supporting cast.
Because it's easy on the defense. I know you would want to give him the rock, but man, we need more people to step on up. But it still comes back to Bo getting it to them. I bet they turn on that film. There's gonna be people wide open running free. I mean, there's no way that people have covered the whole game. It's just about Bo getting it to them. So 60, 3-3. I'm a believer, right? Can't believe y'all.
I think that's the tough part about it right there. Like, you want to talk about all the good in the game, right? And it's like, dang, Bo, you didn't get nobody no action to even talk good about, right? It's like nobody had an action today to even get really busy to really
To really do their thing.
to do their thing. You can't even show the athleticism.
Is it just defense that good, or
Defense that great.
is it really we can't get them the ball?
The Jets defense is
Jets
good.
defense.
They're good.
It is
right?
good. They're good.
They're okay.
Are they elite?
They're okay.
I don't know about lead.
Yeah.
They're good though.
They are.
They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
There's
one
no
of the
excuses,
one
man.
of the top defenses out there too.
Yeah, they've been pretty good.
They've
for a
been pretty
couple
stout,
years.
but
They've been good.
I don't think their defense was doing anything spectacular to where we just couldn't get
60
anything
yards,
going.
right?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they were just a
No.
lockdown defense.
It was just very inconsistent play calling, one, and inconsistent throwing the rock. When you can't hit your targets in their chest or in a vicinity where they can catch that rock, and it's not necessarily where they can catch it, it's about pinning it where you're not letting the defenders have a chance to catch it. Because your receivers are going to make the adjust to make the catch, right?
Yeah.
They're going to do what they got to do. But Bo's not giving them anything to catch. It's just not happening.
Well, listen, I put it this way, man. Now that I start to think about it, I'm really nervous now because I think the reason why some of those throws look kind of bad is because of the weather, right? We talked about the weather today. It was a little slippery. It was raining out there.
Yep.
Even on some of those throws in slow motion, he's like shot putting the ball kind of. He's not really throwing it.
Yeah.
Now that makes me real nervous because, listen, we don't have sunshine all year round, right? We get a little snow and the weather gets cold. Is Bo used to that? What's it gonna like when it starts to get cold out here? Now I'm super nervous. I don't know what's
Wait, before you go any further, y'all know you're nervous, and I gotta help you just chill out. And if you need to chill, if you need to embrace the chiller mindset, go ahead and get you a Coors Light. Coors Light is all about embracing a chill mindset. You know Coors Light is chill. When those Rocky Mountains on the front of the can turn blue, it is cold filtered, cold lager, and brew cold, so you know it is always cold for you. And if you want Coors Light delivered straight to your door, you can go to use Instacart or to CoorsLight.com/DNVR to get your Coors Light delivered straight to you. And it feels like we need a round of Coors Light to chill and take a deep breath because we want to see the Broncos do good, and that's our most important thing is that we're all ex-Broncos, but I think it's important for us to see the Broncos go out there and play like we played.
Yeah.
We weren't always perfect, but we definitely gave everything we had, and we know what it looks like to get the AFC championships and win Super Bowls and be a dominant player on the field. So it's important for us to sit back, embrace the chill, and you can get Coors Light delivered straight to your door again at CoorsLight.com/DNVR.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, we have a new partner. At least it's new to me. I'm not sure if you had this ad yet, Todd, but Blue Chew. Blue Chew is awesome. It's actually an online service, so it's super easy, super convenient. And what the Blue Chew does is it delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, Levitra.
Oh, yeah.
It's at a fraction of the cost.
That's that Shannon Sharp?
Yeah, exactly. But see, the thing is, it's in chewable form, so it's it's right there for you. The process is simple. All you gotta do, you just go over to bluechew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers. Once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA. They're prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means you don't have to go to the doctor. There's no awkward conversations. Super easy. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. You can take them anytime, so whether it's daytime, nighttime, whatever the situation may be, you can plan ahead, be ready whenever an opportunity arises. It works. You can try it free for a month and see for yourself. You're going to love it. Partner's going to love it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code ALLCITY at checkout. All you got to do is pay the $5 shipping. That's bluechew.com, promo code ALLCITY. That's all one word, ALLCITY, all caps, to receive your first month for free. Visit bluechew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
Absolutely. Shout out to Blue Chew. I've never tried one before, but
Maybe someday.
Maybe. There's a first time for everything. There's a first time for everything.
Chew it up, guys.
Kind of throws you off a little bit. But no, we got to break into the moment of the game.
Maybe the offense takes some Blue Chew and get us going a little bit.
There was this little talk that guys used to take. Stuff before games to get you kind of like your blood flowing. You know what I'm saying?
Blue Chew?
Maybe it was Blue Chew.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're missing right now is the offense. But right now we want to break into our moment of the game presented to you by UCHealth. And our moment of the game has to be Greg Zuerlein missing that field goal. I think that was the best moment of the game for us, and it was so important. I saw Bo was so happy with the missed kick.
For sure.
You don't have to go down and put together this game-winning drive. On top of that, your team just wins the ball game. Just take a couple of knees, and you guys go home with a win. I think that was the most important play of the game.
That was huge because at the end of the day, to let them get down there and get another possession, couldn't convert to get the first down. Mm-hmm. So we give them the possession, they able to drive down. Defense don't really hold up that well. Let them move down there with some big penalties, and for him to go out there and smoke it like that, we gotta say thank you.
Much appreciated, man.
Much appreciated.
Appreciate it.
Everybody tells you thank you. We're gonna tell you thank you. I guess that play was set up by Will Lutz missing his field goal.
Yep.
Got to talk about that. He's been pretty solid the entire season, but that could have been a crucial play for us. Luckily, it didn't happen, and it wasn't a bad miss. But unfortunately, that was what could have solidified the game for us, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's brutal to miss that kick. I think he was 10 for 10 going into that one.
Yeah.
If not, he was 9 for 9. So a great season so far. But that's probably the biggest kick he's taken all season.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You can't miss that one.
Yeah, out of all of them. I know the weather's played a factor in everybody's game today, but we needed that one. I guess we really didn't. We still won the game. But I think 13-9 would have put the game significantly out of reach for the Jets.
Hey. Like you said, we won the game, so we can let him survive that one, right?
Yeah, you forget about it.
That's one of those moments where it's like we get the weather played a part in it. We understand that he's very accurate, pretty much 95%,
normally he's a good
99% of the time.
Yeah.
And for him to come out and, in a tight one, a little bit of pressure on him. Yeah, we would love for you to clutch that up, but with the win, man, we're going to let you sleep on that and have a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he'll bounce back next week.
Yeah.
It better.
He'll get more opportunities.
Yeah, he better.
He'll get more opportunities, that's for sure.
We're going to need him for sure.
Why would you say that, Knowshon? Why do you think he'll get more
opportunities?
Because the
games, I think, if the defense could continue this and play tight games, we're going to need, you might win by a couple field goals. We might not put touchdowns on the board. We might just need those field goals. So he's going to get plenty of opportunities to win some games for us, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think his kicking for us the entire year is going to be important. We haven't been the dynamic offense that we want just yet. So I think field goals, we got to make those. We got to be able to get those. And points after when we do get in the end zone have to be on point. And then next week we fight the Raiders, who we hate.
Big game.
We kind of have a losing streak against them right now. I think it's 8 games.
I think it's 8 now.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, so we haven't beat them in 8 games. And they're my least favorite team. I don't like to hate anybody, but I'll say it. I hate the Raiders. So they're about the team I hate the most. So I think it's important for us to be good against the Raiders.
For sure. It's a divisional game. Really, that's where it really starts. It's a divisional game. You got to get this one. And it's the Raiders, like you said, right? So we got to get this win. But at the end of the day, bruh, it's going to be another tight one. Is it Minshew right now? Who's the quarterback?
Yeah,
still Minshew. Devontae Adams is hurt.
Yes.
They said he's week to week, so we'll see if he's back.
hamstring or a knee or something like that.
Not this
Yeah.
week, maybe next week.
It's big.
All right,
man.
hopefully
It's
not this
big.
week.
Maybe
Do you
one
guys,
more week.
Wait, do you guys have a team that you like? You just hate, man. You don't know. I mean, I know what it is about the Raiders. I hate, but it's just like you see the colors, you see the team, like you just can't stand them. Do you guys? Anybody else have a team like that?
Nah,
You just
not
love everybody.
necessarily. Nah, I might have had a grudge with a player or two on the team.
Say his
where I'm
name.
like,
No, I'm just waiting.
I might have had a grudge. You know what I mean? Just that competitive, that competitive grudge throughout the game. But no, not necessarily a team.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a team.
Oh.
You got a team?
Not necessarily. I don't. Shit, y'all know me. I'm Titan Nation all the way. But man, I used to hate the heck out those Jaguars, man.
Jags?
Yeah. So they always, every time we just go back and forth with them. Every time game day come, it's just always something.
Always chippy.
Always
yeah.
something. That game is just always rally. Love it.
Interesting.
It's always a blast. And I'm always that guy sparking something up in the media. And I'm going to let my guys survive who I talk about all the time.
Oh, you the bulletin board guy.
Yeah, I'm the bulletin
You the
board.
board guy?
And I'm going to go
You
show
the
out.
bulletin
So
board?
I used to tell Coach, hey, don't worry about it, Coach. I'll show out today.
It's all about good energy. I'm happy to be here in the Broncos Winners Lounge with you all. Last week we didn't get to do this, and they had a good win. I was excited to talk about how great that win was. But hopefully
This is a
this
win.
continues to be more good wins like this. I know the Broncos offense is still a work in progress, but it feels like the defense has got things figured out. So as long as it takes for the offense to get going, I feel like the defense will be good enough for that time.
For sure.
I think the fun thing with the defense is that they've really played a bunch of different styles of offense. So like week 2, you've got the Steelers who just want to run you over.
Yep.
Week 3, last week you play the Bucks, and they just want to throw the ball downfield. And Baker came into that throwing for like 300 a game or whatever.
Yeah.
Then this week you've got the Jets running, like they hand the ball off, they run the play action off of it. They're taking advantage of the middle of the field. They've really held up to a bunch of different styles of offense. I think that that's a good sign.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For
I
sure
think
now.
so. They've been versatile against different offenses, and then also I feel like they've had to make adjustments, whether it's injuries or different personnels. They made a lot of adjustments throughout this time as a defense, and they've been great in every single one. The only thing that's tough for the defense is like they got to be perfect right now.
Yep.
Like Riley Moss played a great game all the way through. That one penalty towards the end of the game could have cost him the game, and that sucks as a player to be like 99% perfect and then have one situation be like the thing that win or loses you the game. But that's how the defense is right now. Like they got to be perfect, and for the most part they're playing like that. So I mean, anytime you hold a team to no touchdowns, like that's hard to do. Like
Yep.
it's not
easy at all. This is the pros.
Yeah.
And, you got a guy over there who done it for a long time, Aaron Rodgers, and this defense went out there and shut him out. Yeah, he could put up 200-some yards. I could have sworn they held him under 100-some yards the way the defense played, right? But he put up 200 yards, but the most important part, they didn't let him get in the end zone.
Exactly.
Not him, not the running backs. And the closest thing they can do is get the field goals, which, you as a defensive player, you always, shoot yourself in the foot because it's like you got that mantra, don't bend, don't break type of situation. You can bend, but don't break situation. And, to end up losing by field goals kind of kill you. And so I think it's big that the offense came out and put up a couple points for us to get out there and retain this game and let the defense come away with a victory this week.
And in case you guys
Couples
are
right.
wondering how good the Broncos defense is right now, they gave up 7 points to the Jets last week. To the Bucks last week. The Bucks now beat the Eagles 33-16. So 7 points last week, 9 points this week, 13 points the week before. I think we're staring at an elite defense, and they're
Very
getting
elite.
better from week to week.
And they get to play the Raiders.
And they get to
So
play Raiders.
imagine what that can look like again next week, right?
They must have got those injured players back that they had lost. The Bucks. They had a lot of injured players out that
Vita
week too.
Vea,
They did. They had
Antoine,
them saying-
Infield.
Injured players
Yeah,
are not.
You know what? People always call me like the Grinch.
Hey,
I'm always the
listen,
Grinch of all these things. Listen, I get it from my
we
my
didn't tell you
SEC
who to
guys.
show up with. You showed up, we showed up, and it was what it was.
Yeah, that's true. That's
You know?
very true.
Wait,
But the-
SEC, you're talking about Georgia losing the... We won't have to
To
talk
Alabama?
about that. We don't have to talk
You
about
bring
that.
that-
Why would he bring that up?
I don't even know.
That's
What are you
okay.
talking
We're
about?
not talking about that.
What
That
we're
was
talking about
ignorant.
is that I'm gonna always keep it 100.
For sure.
I'm gonna keep it real and tell you exactly how I feel about it, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. I ain't gonna blow no smoke.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
Maybe a little
so
smoke.
Not too much. Not too much. And the same thing, of course we want to see these guys succeed. We want the Broncos to win, and the whole city and the whole town's going to be going. It's going to be great when those guys are winning. But at the same time, we're going to tell it how it is. And if it ain't looking good, it ain't looking good. But once it starts to look good, I'll give you your kudos.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with them Bulldogs. Them Bulldogs looking horrible. They got to get it going. They got to get it going. They look horrible right now.
It's all about keeping it real. We're going to keep it real with you on this show. Before we get out of here, I got to tell you about Z-Biotics, one of our other sponsors. 50% off if you use code DNVR Broncos on their website. It's a game-changing product, and I use it a night before drinks. It's called a pre-alcohol. Let's face it, after a night out with drinks, I don't bounce back like I used to. So it's important to get the pre-alcohol in my system so that I'm feeling better the next day. And you can get it from zbiotics.com if you use the code DNVR Broncos. I kept hearing about pre-alcohol, and I wonder what it is exactly like. Now that I've tried it, I believe the hype and their GMO technology, they will release different products that help address toxic byproducts of modern living in the gut. Go to zbiotics.com/DNVR Broncos to learn more and get 50% off your first order when you use code DNVR Broncos at checkout.
Also want to give a shout out to Bet365. We had a bunch of fun. We actually caught a terrible break because me and Todd both thought Tyler Bidet was in for a big day. And they wound up getting hurt and stretchered off immediately, which is the big story. And our thoughts and prayers with him, of course.
For sure.
But other than that, made some good bets today. Got the Vikings on the money line, actually, against the Packers. Got the Bears money line against the Rams. A whole bunch of different bets. We love Bet365. They give a whole bunch of boosts out. So head on over there, check them out. And if you use our code, DNVR365, you can pick between two different offers. The first is a bet and get offer where you place a bet of $10 or more and you get $200 in bonus bets. Or you can take the first bet safety net offer where you make a bet of $1,000 or more. And if that hits, then you get to... if it doesn't hit, then you get refunded in bonus bets. Whatever the moment, make it. It's never ordinary Bet365. There we go. I don't actually have the words pulled up, so I'm doing this off the top of my head.
I think that's smooth.
Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yeah, and shout out to John. We did finally beat Nathaniel Hackett. We hadn't done that yet, so I think that was another check mark on the bucket list. But that'll do it.
And not only that, though.
Go ahead.
And I've been seeing it on the chat a couple times, which you can't take away from him. Bo had a touchdown today, and Aaron didn't.
Yes.
Ain't that crazy?
Yes.
Wow.
Bo's first passing touchdown.
We believe.
Believe.
I hope so.
I'm a believer. I'm a believe. Knowshon don't like that I believe.
No, I love it. I love it.
I
just need to see more, man. I just need to see more. I'm a guy that you got to prove it to me. And then once you get consistent and you show that you can do it, I'm like, all right, then I can give you a little leeway. I can't give it to you if you ain't shown me.
Like I say every time, he's definitely inconsistent, but come on, Sean Payton, y'all. Draw my guy up an offensive playbook like you did down there with Kamara and them. Let these boys get a little freaky with some plays, man.
Let them get freaky.
Go look at the Oregon. Go check out some of the Oregon.
Blue Chew.
Some of that Oregon film, man. Run some Oregon plays.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, he's capable of doing that stuff.
Definitely.
It's just so tough today when you see him missing throws. Like, it's one thing when you're making bad decisions, you coach him up. But when you're just... the guy's 10 yards in front of you and you're sailing the ball over his head, that's just so tough to watch.
It's definitely tough. And that's what we were just talking about, right? The inconsistency part of it. Like, hey, you got it right there. Just put it on his chest.
Yeah.
And,
He'll be all right.
Yep.
But we'll be there.
Totally.
All right, guys, we're trying to wait for Zach. He hasn't called in yet, but we'll catch him tomorrow morning, 11 o'clock. We'll do a couple breakdowns. We'll have me, Zach, and Henry on the show, so it'll be a great show. And you guys tune in next week. We'll have the pregame show and the postgame show. Jurrell and Knowshon will be with me as well. Oh, wait, Zach just called in. We're not out yet. Zach, what's up, man? False alarm. What's up, man? How you feeling out there?
Do you believe? Joseph Stevens is rocking and rolling, and guys, I don't know if you can tell, it is still miserable here in MetLife. The Broncos did did what they had to do to pull off a disgusting win, but this is a game-changing, a season-changing win for the Broncos, and they've got all the momentum rolling into 2 home games now.
Oh, man, it's important for us to get your opinion on the weather since you're live and in the building. We've been talking about the weather a lot. Do you feel like that played a factor in how Bo played today? I mean, 60 yards, we talked about it, probably not going to cut it. So we want to know how bad the weather was out there this week.
Well, if 60 yards passing isn't going to cut it, what about -7 passing yards in the first half? That's certainly not going to cut it. And I'll tell you, after the game, the Broncos, Sean Payton, Bo Nix did say the weather really impacted this first half, and I can vouch for that. It is miserable. I told you guys before that the game started how miserable the weather was, and it definitely played a big role in this game. It's so disgusting here. It's been sleeting, and I mean, it's been really hard. Aaron Rodgers really struggled in the first half. And when you see Aaron Rodgers inaccurate, that shows you how tough the conditions are.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sitting furthest away from the speaker, so I have no idea what you're saying. But whatever. What's
I didn't
the?
hear him on that one.
What's the next most interesting thing you have to say?
Well, Sean Payton had Bo Nixon back big time. Was asked at halftime when Bo had -7 passing yards if he had given up on his confidence in Bo or lost a little bit of confidence. And Sean went out on the attack to the reporters and said, heck no, I didn't lose confidence in him. This guy is so unbelievably confident. And Bo Nix came through when the plays needed to be had. He made the big plays. Even simple ones like not going out of bounds on one of the runs near the end of the game, but the big one, the pass to Courtland Sutton to lead the Broncos to that touchdown. There was one touchdown in this game, which was just incredible defense, and it was the Broncos. And then, of course, that led to Courtland Sutton being wide open. And Bo Nix finally had a touchdown pass in this game. And what we talk about, in order for the Broncos to win with a rookie quarterback, you need to run the ball and you need to play good defense. The Broncos played elite defense, and they finally found their running game. In the first half, the Broncos were running for over 5 yards per carry, and they went even harder on the ground in the second half. And Knowshon, you guys know just how important that is to helping a young quarterback. They stay committed to the ground. Javonte Williams, we saw signs and flashes of old Javonte, and that was the key to the game. You should never win a game when you have 60 passing yards, and the Broncos pulled that off in incredible fashion against a really good team. Some people, Todd Davis, think Aaron Rodgers is elite. The Broncos just went in to his house and beat him with throwing 60 yards. A huge win for this team, especially coming off a week in West Virginia where these guys have been sequestered on their own. They've only been around themselves, and this is a huge moment for the team to go on the road, win 2 straight now, and they have confidence, so much confidence in Vance Joseph, so much confidence in the way they're moving under Sean Payton right now, despite pretty lackluster offense for the most part in the first 3 of the 4 weeks of the season.
That's the biggest thing, Zach, for sure, is that the defense is building confidence, the offense is building confidence, and Sean Payton is building the most confidence in his team, and he's going to keep those guys together rolling. And like you said, second half, the defense showed up, and the offense showed up even more. They made the key plays, they made the big plays they need to make, and Sutton and Bo got on the same page to get in that end zone and give us a little heads up, and next you know, the run game got going. It was definitely huge.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was very huge. And then special teams was great until the very end where the Broncos miss a 50-yard field goal, but they knew that the Jets were going to go out and have to kick a long field goal, and they weren't able to hit that. And when it comes to this defense, it's the guys that you expect who are stepping up, but it's also the backups and the guys who we don't count on that are stepping up. How about Justin Sternad? This guy hasn't played a single defensive snap in over 2 seasons. On his very first snap today, he goes and gets Aaron Rodgers. I talked to him after the game, and he said, on that first play, I knew I was getting an opportunity to go. And when I saw the hole there, I thought, oh, my God, I'm about to sack Aaron Rodgers. And that's what he did. He took Aaron Rodgers down. That's 5 sacks on Rodgers today. The Broncos had 7 on Baker last week, which was incredible. But 5 sacks on Aaron Rodgers is even more incredible. Sean Payton said it might not be another 20 games until Aaron Rodgers is sacked 5 times. And don't forget, the Broncos might be missing their most promising pass rusher in Baron Browning. They're doing it with Justin Sternad. They're doing it with Nick Benito. They're doing it by sending blitzes. Vance Joseph is dialing this thing up perfectly. And the three of you know more than anyone else how difficult it is after Riley Moss's defensive pass interference in the end zone. The Jets get the ball on the 1-yard line, and the Broncos stop them. And they actually go backward, and they have to kick a field goal. That was the game right there. That's when the Broncos won the game, when they said, you're not scoring a single touchdown on us in this game. And clearly at the end of the game with the 10-9 win, that was the difference. That is just incredible defense all around. I know Riley Moss had a couple of penalties. I thought he played great. Obviously, Pat Surtain, he lined up against Garrett Wilson 18 times in the first half. Aaron Rodgers said, I want nothing to do with you. I'm throwing 0 times on you, which is incredible because of how good Garrett Wilson is. The run defense was great, really stepped up after a couple of maybe shaky moments in the past couple of weeks. They made Breece Hall look like he should not be a starter, and he's a damn good running back. So can't speak highly enough about this defense. You go on the road and play a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that's averaging 28.5 points per game, and you hold them to 7 points. Then you go on the road again to Aaron Rodgers' house, and you keep Rodgers out of the end zone, and you only hold him to 9 points. That is incredible. This defense is playing elite, and we know what elite defense looks like, and this by far passes the test.
Yeah, I agree. Zach, you're out there spitting that knowledge. I love it, man. I love it. And you spoke on the run.
The earth is spitting on me, Knowshon, so I got to
I feel you. And then you talked about that run game. I thought the guys did a really good job. Javonte looked good out there as well. And any word on Bidet and that injury? We saw him go down early. Did you hear anything, updates on that?
It's a great question. I'm really happy you brought it up because that was a very scary situation. Obviously, after the fumble where he gets hit kind of awkward, he goes down on the sideline. They bring the card out, put him on a stretcher. Sean Payton was very, very intentional about not giving an update. He did not want to give an update. I kind of wish we did get an update, but we heard in the locker room, I believe it was from Jaleel, who their running back coach told the running backs that Tyler's going to be okay. But the big update that we don't know, Sean was not willing to say whether or not Tyler will be traveling back with the team tonight. And obviously, if he gets on that plane, that would be huge news, a big win for him. But we're just going to wait. Broncos team plane leaves in about an hour, so hopefully we have an update by then. I wouldn't be surprised if they hold him over for tomorrow, but we'll see. That was a very scary situation.
Yeah.
Well, dang, man. Thank you for giving us that insight, and thank you for the update on Bidet. Hopefully he makes that flight, and hopefully you make your flight because we need you back here tomorrow. See you at 11 a.m., and we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow morning.
Love it.
Oh, I'm happy you guys don't want to keep me in West Virginia. I'm glad that you want me back.
Yeah, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Hank's, it's just been me and Hank, so we've been, you know what I'm saying, we've been missing, you know what I'm saying, the third person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, fellas.
All right, now take care. Safe travels.
All right, y'all. That'll do it for us here on the Winners Lounge, the Broncos postgame show, DNVR Broncos postgame show. We'll see you guys next week. Actually, me and Hank will see you guys tomorrow, but all of us will see you next week on the pre- and postgame show. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be great. Check us out tomorrow at 11 a.m. See you.
Let's go.
We all city like the mayor.